Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Avcci, your host. I'm welcoming you episode 205. We are in season 7 in the American Business Podcast. Quote of the day. As you know, we have a great partnership with missionstatements.com, and here is the quote of the day. Don't despise small beginnings. Anything worthwhile takes time to develop, and anything worthwhile will cost more than you imagined. As you know, about 7 weeks ago, we started America's virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, powered by the American Business Podcast. America's virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, also known as ABCCI, has a simple mission. It is to promote, support, uplift American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and the business community. Please go to avcci.us website and learn more about ABCCI. And we are inclusive at ABCCI. From solo entrepreneur to Fortune 500 company, we have something for every single business professional, business leader, entrepreneur, as well as executive. Join us. Go to avcci.us, go to events section, see our event calendar, and register for coming committee meetings. Our committee and club meetings are complimentary, no charge, and you can join any of them that you like. And they are designed for education and connection. And I'm sure you'll like them and you'll start building business relationships at ABCCI. Thank you for your support. Okay, great. Well, I have a great guest today in the American Business Podcast. Let's invite our guest to our stage and let's get the conversation started. All right. Hello, Rick. Welcome to the American Business Podcast.
Thank you, Kevin. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really looking forward to today's conversation.
Pleasure is all mine, and I'm happy to have you in the American Business Podcast. I'm also welcoming you to ABCCI, America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. You are one of our members. I'm happy that you joined us, and I'm sure that it's going to be a great partnership with you and with ABCCI partners, members.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It already sounds great, and I like the approach. Very different from any other Chamber of Commerce that I've been involved with.
Thank you. It's important that we get feedback from you, and it means a lot. Thank you for your support. Well, actually, in this episode, I love our viewers and listeners to learn more about you. If that's okay, we can start with introductions.
Oh,
Can
sure.
you please, tell me about yourself, tell us about yourself, your organization, and a little bit of introductions for our viewers and also listeners.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. Again, my name is Rick Drum, and I am the founder of Peak Growth Solutions and also Peak Leadership Teams and Peak Micro Learning. I've been coaching over 70 companies over the last 14 years. And previous to my coaching businesses, I was a leader, president, CEO of various companies inside the music industry that manufactured musical instruments and accessories, one of which was D'Addario Company, which is based in Farmingdale, Long Island. And prior to that, I was president of another company called Vic Firth Incorporated, which was headquartered in Boston. And before that, I was director of sales and marketing for the Remo Incorporated company out in Los Angeles. So it sounds like I couldn't keep a job or I was part of the witness protection program, but I stayed at each one for quite a while.
That's amazing. Well, I know that you are also a published author. Would you like to tell us about your published books?
Yes, absolutely. I just happen to have a couple here.
That's
All right.
perfect.
I have my first book, which is Lock In to Unlock Your Productivity, which features the peak productivity formula, and we can talk about that a little bit. And my most recent book is your hidden P&L, which was just published on July the 4th this year, which is about the fact that, we as business people, we all have a P&L, and hopefully it's correct. But the P&L is telling you what you're spending, what you're taking in, and your profits, hopefully. But the hidden P&L is dealing with the waste that is taking place inside the organization that you most often don't have visibility of. And so we know what you're paying your people, but what amount of that is actually converting into productivity and thus value. And so that's what the hidden P&L does. And I have also created an app that looks at 41 different leaks that you probably have, or a good portion thereof, inside your organization. And if we have time, I'll be happy to give you a quick demo of the app. I have a demo version of it that runs very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. And then I have an in-depth version where we have 30 statements that are rated by the leadership team, 20 statements that are rated by the management supervisors, and then 12 statements that are rated by the frontline workers. So by having a complete survey of the entire organization, we're able to find where the company is aligned and where it's misaligned. And where we have that misalignment, then that's an opportunity for waste to occur, and also loss of opportunity.
Well, if you like to share more information in a form of presentation, we definitely welcome it.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? I know, I think, let me see if I can make this happen.
Okay.
Because first I'm going to show the app. And Kevin, I think I'm going to have you participate.
Sounds good.
Okay.
So right.
See if I can bring that up and then share. Screen. Screen. Oh, okay. Once again, I'm not sure I did that correctly.
Not a problem. Take your time.
Okay, let's see. Okay.
Okay, now we can see it on our screen.
All right. So what we have is, this is a very quick demo of what the app does. And so we'll just, we're going to call this Kevin's company.
All right.
All right. And Kevin, do you want to be in manufacturing or?
Yes, let's be a manufacturer. Sounds good.
Okay. We can put in whatever amount here we want, but okay. How about 25 million? Does that work for you?
That works for me. Yes. Perfect.
Okay. 25 million in revenue and a head count of about 100 people.
100 people. Nice.
Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to do a quick diagnosis here. So these are just 5 statements. And normally when I'm doing this, we have a total of 62 statements. So we really get into the nitty gritty. But on these 5, and we can, this is just a what if, we're going to rate them, and it's a 5-point rating system. And you just, we can go to strongly agree with the statement, or strongly disagree, or something in the middle, or we're neutral. So on the first statement, our leadership team's priorities translate consistently into what people work on throughout the organization. Do we strongly agree with that, or do we disagree, or are we good with being neutral?
Being neutral.
Okay. So we'll just leave it there. All right. So statement 2, we address underperformance directly and promptly before it drains the team.
All right. Strongly agree.
Strongly agree. Okay. I should have named it somebody else. Okay. When work passes between teams, the handoff is clean. Ownership is explicit and nothing falls into the gap.
All right, neutral.
Neutral. Okay. When conflict arises, it is addressed directly and resolved, not avoided.
Agreed.
Agree.
Perfect.
Okay. Our pricing holds. We do not routinely discount without deliberate pricing strategy.
Our price holds. We do not routinely discount without deliberate pricing strategy. Agree.
Agree. Okay. All right. So then we look for the results here.
All right.
And basically, look, we're working pretty well. So, but even at that,
Mm-hmm.
process and handoff failures, they're about monthly exposure is between 13,000 to 24,000 a month, right? Every broken handoff generates rework, work loops back, deadlines slip, and your team spends hours reading what should have been done once. Some leadership misalignment a little bit. Um, Monthly exposure 11,000 to 20,000. So when the leadership priorities don't cascade, every tier interprets their direction differently, which creates a duplicated effort, stalled projects, and decision bottlenecks. Pricing left on the table, not very much. So maybe 5,000 to 9,000 a month. So basically, what we're looking at here is maybe between 453,000 to 537,000 per year, only 2% of revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Not too bad, but 38 to 45,000.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go back and let's start over. And we'll use Kevin's company again, but this time we're going to rate it a little differently.
Okay.
Okay. So you were very more on the positive side, but this is what I run into. Our
Okay.
leadership team's priorities translate consistently into what people work on throughout the organization. Quite often, the troops will disagree there.
Okay.
Neutral. We address underperformance directly and promptly before it drains the team.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're there.
Okay.
When work passes between teams, the handoff is clean. It'll be neutral. When conflict arises, this really depends. Sometimes, that it's not addressed directly or resolved.
Yes. Yes. It's hard. It's
It's
hard.
hard.
Yes.
Right? It's hard. A lot of people are uncomfortable with it,
Mm-hmm.
and pricing will leave that at agree. So
Okay.
let's see how that changed the results.
Mm.
So as we can see here, now,
$100,000.
yeah, right. So you can see when the conflict is, if it's avoided, it creates a lot of drag on the company. It can create a toxic environment, which becomes very expensive for the organization. And it doesn't just disappear, right? It hardens into workarounds. Then you get into passive aggressive behavior and quiet disengagement that erodes productivity from the inside. And then, with leadership misalignment, that just cascades down throughout the entire organization.
Yes.
And you can see what that costs on a monthly basis. And then underperformers tolerated. Again, I see that a lot. It's a big problem, which can also have a negative impact on your retention of your best employees. And so there's also that cost. So the full assessment, like I said, is 62 statements, and we deal with 41 potential leaks inside the organization. And then what we do is we have a full report and then a plan of action with priorities set up to attack. So that within the first 30 to 90 days, we're seeing improvements inside the organization.
Amazing.
So I'm going to stop sharing here.
Okay.
There we go. Now I'll go back to you. There we go.
Yes. Yes. So it's just like an X-ray, right? So based on the size of the company and based on the answers to those questions, it's just like taking an management extra in a way where it is
Yeah. And
standing the company.
so when I do the full assessment, we're looking at departments, we're looking at revenue, we're also looking at EBITDA, and then from that, then we can see, well, this is the impact that this situation is having on your EBITDA. We can also see, right, what percent of revenue, but really, what's the impact on your EBITDA, and also what's the impact on lost opportunities. So it goes in very deep. When I created the app, I mean, I've gone through, did a Monte Carlo testing on it. We did 4,000 runs of the app. What if with different random assessments and the positively rated assessments, negatively rated assessments, so forth, so that we kept tightening up the formulas, and I'm always stating the result in a range, right? And then also, how much can we claw back? How much can we improve over time? And we give those results very conservatively. I'm a big one on under promising and over delivering.
Makes a lot of sense. Just to make sure, the app that you actually mentioned, is it available for public?
It will be next week, actually, and they'll be available from my website. So
that's great.
The demo is free. They can go and play with it, but there's no outside of those 5 statements. There's no assessments for everybody. But again, normally with the full assessment, everybody gets their own assessment. It's a leadership team is rating the same, and so that allows me to see if there's misalignment inside the leadership team, and then the managers are doing a different assessment, but somewhat tied together, and then the line workers are doing yet another assessment, but again tied to the other 2. So through that, we can see where the gaps are. And as they say in England, before you get on the sub, mind the gaps. It's really, really important.
And the approach and grading behind the app, is it proprietary? Is it your know-how? Yes. You will say? Yes,
it is. Yeah, okay. And it's going through all the legal protections. It's protected now, but yeah, it's something that I developed, and I developed it based upon my coaching practice and also my prior experience running organizations.
Of course, decades of experience.
Right, and and I made a lot of the same mistakes that everybody else makes along the way. So, failure can be at times the best teacher, but we learn and we continue to evolve.
This is great, and we are also keeping your contact information, your email and website on the screen. You mentioned that the app you just demonstrated will be available next week on your website, so your website is also on the screen. And once it is live, please also let me know, and I can also help promote it. And our team also can push it to our social media channels as well, if you like, and we can put the word out and support the process. And also businesses can benefit from the app and learn, see where they are standing.
Yeah.
Very informative.
In the demo, we're only focusing in on 3 leaks. But like I said, in the full assessment, we're looking at 41 potential leaks. Right.
Absolutely. And then they can take next steps with you and then dive deeper into it if necessary. Right. Yep. Nevertheless, it's a way of looking at how you are doing as an organization based on your size, based on your operations, and how you are responding to certain managerial subjects that you actually listed there as you just demonstrated. So very practical, very informative, and very helpful for organization. It's always good to look at operations with different pair of eyes in a way. You look at it from different angles. So that gives you fresh evaluation in terms of assessment, in terms of where you are as an organization.
We see a lot of literature these days on like 10xing your organization.
Yes.
Right. And I do have like, the science of scaling and 10x by Dan Sullivan and Ben Hardy. But along with that, and I have clients that are on that track, but at the same time, I'm saying, okay, well, in your organization now, there's some gold mines that you're not paying any attention to. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you can combine both, that's awesome. But if all of that stuff that's inside the organization is within our control, if we have visibility. And so the whole purpose of the app is to provide visibility for what is currently hidden inside.
Mm-hmm. Very important. Very important. And I'm glad you shared that and you performed the demonstration of the app so our viewers and listeners can listen to it and our viewers can see actually the app in action. So that's great. Truly appreciate it. And that shows the video of ABCCI membership. So our also viewers and listeners can see, our actually members are great, full of knowledge, decades of experience, and they don't mind sharing, as you can see, so Rick actually demonstrated himself the app that he put together to help businesses see where they are standing and how they are doing in general. So that also shows your generosity in a way that how you can actually help companies and organizations. And I totally appreciate it. And I'm glad you joined ABCCI. This is great.
I'm happy. I'm very happy that your board member, Jim Silvestri, made me aware.
Yes. Right? Jim is great. He's one of our founding members. And also he's our co-chair at our ABCCI Business Book Club, which is doing great. That's a great group that we get together monthly basis to review books, and hopefully we'll also have you there and feature you as a published author and ABCCI member. I'm looking forward to that conversation as well. Yep. And also to our viewers and listeners, just so you know, for the books that Rick mentioned that he published, we are also promoting his books in Business Book Club of ABCCI. That's also available, and you can see it there. And more importantly, they can go to Amazon and search for your books. Am I right?
Yes. Yeah. Just type in Rick Drum or your hidden P&L or walk into Unlock Productivity.
This is great.
They'll be there.
This is great. Well, at ABP, the American Business Podcast, we actually love published authors. We support published authors. At ABCCI, we take extra step to promote our members and support them. It is because we see published books and also putting it out there. We see it as professional generosity. You take your time, you put together a book, which is a lot of work. I'm a published author myself. I know how hard it is to put it together. It's a lot of effort. And you take your time and you put it together and you share it, and it shows your generosity, and you make it available for businesses, professionals, business owners, and entrepreneurs. This is fascinating, and I truly appreciate that. Well, looks like we have also a little bit time. Maybe we can continue our discussion if that's okay. Well, I love our viewers and listeners to know more about you. If that's okay, can you tell us about your career journey a little bit? How did you get started? How your career journey has unfolded over the years?
Well, actually.
Hello, I'm Nerio Rivera, and I'm a founding member at America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please join us today and let us help you grow your business. So I'm also the Senior Client Manager at IMSM. There we help support your current and upcoming ISO certifications through training and a variety of other services. So if you have any questions regarding ISO, the process, or how to maintain it, please send me an email.
Hi, I'm Anthony Buonaspina, CEO and founder of LI Tech Advisors. We're located in Babylon Village, Long Island, and we've been in business for over 35 years. We're an MSP specializing in AI automation and business intelligence, and we're very excited to be leading the Long Island chapter and as a founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. That's AVCCI. We're very happy to be a member here, and also we're looking forward to doing a lot of great things with this organization. Thank you.
Welcome to America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. My name is Joe Beauchamp. I'm one of the founding members here. I'm also the chair of the leadership committee. I'm here to help leaders develop strategies. My company is Beauchamp Team Growth Solutions. We help business owners and business leaders to develop their leadership skills, the leadership skills of their team. We know that better leaders get better results, and we provide that leadership strategy, training, and education for business leaders to run their companies better. Hope you can join us at the America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Well, actually, my entire career started in music. My dad had a music store in West Springfield, Massachusetts. I grew up inside that store. He's a great trumpet player. And I started playing professionally when I was 13 years old, playing gigs and then playing circuses and rodeos and all kinds of stuff like that. And my goal in life was to be a studio drummer. And so I actually started taking drum lessons with a drummer from the Johnny Carson show, the old Tonight Show in New York. And every other week I was in New York studying with, his name is Ed Shaughnessy. And then after my lesson, we'd walk over to NBC Studios, and I sat behind the Tonight Show band for the rehearsals. So I was on that trajectory, and then graduated from high school, fortunately. And then because I was so much into the playing, but I had won a full boat scholarship from, then it's called North Texas State University. But because at 18 you know everything, and I was already on the road traveling, playing, I decided not to take him up on that full boat scholarship. And then I played out on the road for a year. And then I joined the U.S. Air Force, and I played in the Air Force Band, NORAD, North American Air Defense Command, for 4 years. Then I went to Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus for 2 years, playing with them. My dad had closed up the music store and ran away with the circus. I found him, and then he hired me. So then I followed him for 2 years. He did it for 7 years. I just did it for 2. But the circus was a key pivot point, because that's when I started to make relations with companies in the music industry, one of which was Remo, another one was the Zildjian Cymbal Company, another one was Ludwig Drum Company. They had me be an endorser of their products, which was good. And then Remo would send me product to test, and that was the beginning. So I would write reports on the products, because imagine, like, at that time, we played, this is 1978, we played 11 weeks at Madison Square Garden, and doing all those shows. And I had one overhead microphone that was miking the drums. And anyways, I play, write the reports, send them back to Remo. They would send me more product. After 2 years, I got off the road, and I made the decision to move to Los Angeles to pursue being a studio drummer. And I had a newborn daughter. And in order to afford to feed her, kids are very demanding. So I went to Remo and asked for, see if I could get some work while I was trying to break into Los Angeles. And they needed somebody in customer service. They liked my experience, and that's where I started. Long story short, I quickly learned that in Los Angeles at the time, there were about 10, 15 drummers that were doing all the studio work, and my name was not on the list. So then I actually became unexpectedly infatuated with everything in business and manufacturing and product development and all of it. And over the period of time, I elevated through the company until I became director of marketing and sales globally. And I was with the company for 13 years. And then I moved on and worked with a distributor of our products called Midco International. They made me CEO, and I did that for 3 years. We grew the business considerably, and then I was hired by Vic Firth, who had started his company back in the 60s, and I became president of Vic for 10 years, and we grew that company by 3x during my time there. And then I was recruited to become president of D'Addario and Company on Long Island, and I was president there for 8 years. And then I moved on to getting my coaching practice going. And then regarding college, eventually I went back I went in for the first time. During about halfway through my tenure at Vic Firth, I went and got my undergraduate degree, and then I followed that up with an MBA at Babson College in entrepreneurship. So, that's my story. And then there's one little other interesting experience I had along the way is that when I was recruited to become president of Vic Firth, I had to go through this big interview process. And I met with the board of directors one-on-one. And the last guy that I met was the CEO of Massport, and he ran Logan Airport. And this was after 9/11. They brought him in to fix all the security issues that had taken place back then. So I met with him up at his office at Logan. And then that evening I was driving home, and Jim D'Addario called me up and said, "So how did the interview go?" I told him. I said it went fine. And then he said, "I got one more interview for you." And I said, "Jimmy, I've given you all my best material. I don't think I got anything left." Right? He said, "No, you got to do this one last interview." And I said, "Okay, when, where?" He said, "Boston in 2 days." And I said, "Okay, so who am I meeting with?" He said, "Jack Welch." I said, "Jack Welch?" I said, "I don't think he's on your board, right?" He said, "No." But Jim had gone to an event at the Four Seasons in Boston the prior October, and that Jack put on, and the two of them hit it off pretty well. And Jack asked him, "What's your biggest challenge?" And he said, "To help find somebody that can help lead the company and mentor the next generation of D'Addarios." And Jack said, "I'll tell you what, when you get to that point of you think is your candidate, if you'd like, I'll interview him for you." And I ended up being that person. And I went to Jack's house and went through an hour and 15 minutes of Jack Welch interview. And it worked out.
That's amazing. Well, what is the secret of your success?
Honestly, a big secret, which is no secret, is I'm a continuous learner. And I'm just curious. I want to know how things work, what makes things happen the way that they happen, what can make things improve. And so I like asking a lot of questions. I'm not shy about asking questions. I've screwed up along the way from time to time, and I was fortunate that nobody really hung me out to dry when I did. They would just say, "Go fix it, and let's learn, and let's continue on." And so I think it was a combination of those things. I mean, people ask me, "Well, why'd you go to school at your age?" I mean, I got my MBA at 52. I started my undergrad when I was 47. And, and I was running companies. Why? Because I knew that I had some holes in the old database up here that needed to be filled. And so, and again, it's that curious that was always pushing me forward.
Well, one of the popular subjects in the American Business Podcast is AI. How do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays?
Well, it's going to have a huge impact, just like the internet did, just like the printing press did back in the day, right? It is one of those technologies that's changing business, changing life as we know it, good and bad. But the way that I look at AI is that, hypothetically, you have all the information of the world at your fingertips. But it doesn't mean anything unless you know what you're looking for. And it doesn't mean anything unless you know how to ask for it. And there is more and more realization that human creativity, along with human curiosity, along with the ability to continue to develop what has now become known as the durable skills, along with AI, can have the greatest impact. So, do I use AI? Yes, I use it every day. Did I use it to help write the books? Yes. But the books started with me. The concepts started with me. And so there is this model where AI, if it keeps using itself to learn, it's like like in the old days with a cassette tape, and you keep making copies of that tape, it gets worse and worse, right? The quality gets worse. So AI, to continue, also needs some new and always ongoing, I believe, human creativity to amplify what it does.
Let's talk about leadership a little bit. From your point of view, how would you define leadership, and what are the great leadership qualities a good leader must have?
Hi, I'm Christine Daniels. I'm a high performance coach, executive strategist, and keynote speaker. I'm also a founding member of America's first virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the co-chair of the Leadership and Management Growth Committee. I run my own business. It's a coaching and consulting practice. The work I do is about developing leaders, building stronger teams, and integrating high performance with personal alignment, that inner work that makes the outer work sustainable. I deliver this through executive coaching, leadership development, and strategy work with executives, founders, and leadership teams. Before this chapter of my career, I spent over 25 years across capital markets, family office investing, and venture capital. One of the things I value most about AVCCI is what it actually is: a national community where professionals, business owners, and organizations connect, collaborate, and amplify each other's work. Building a business is one thing. Building it with the right relationships, the right visibility, and the right network across the country, that is something else entirely. And AVCCI is where that happens. If this sounds like the kind of community you've been looking for, we would love to have you. Learn more at avcci.us and learn more about my work at christineadaniels.com. I look forward to connecting.
Hi, I'm Steve Turner and excited to be a part of the American Virtual Chamber of Commerce, AVCCI. I am the owner and operator of Solomon Turner Public Relations in St. Louis, author of the book PR That Works, and a national speaker. We solve the problems of helping companies build their brand through PR strategies in this crazy era of AI. Solomon Turner helps business owners better connect with their customers and communities that they serve for the long term, and we help sales and marketing with long-term growth by using these PR strategies. We have clients nationwide. We've worked with a lot of people you would know, such as celebrities as Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Steve Forbes, and many corporations like Northwestern Mutual. So I invite you to reach out. Love to talk to you, meet you, and have a conversation. And feel free to email or call at the numbers provided. Thank you so much.
Good leader must have.
Well, the first thing, in my opinion, is it's the same in music. And I ask people, what is the most important skill that you must have to be a successful musician? And it's the same in business. And so the first thing is the ability to listen, right? Listen first, seek to be understood later. So it's listen first. A practice that I had, and I still go, like when I visit clients, is the managing by walking around, right? And I did that just about every day in every company that I was involved in, to go talk to the people that were actually on the line doing the work. Most times I went out without any agenda whatsoever, just to talk to people, see how they were doing, see how their lives were both inside the building and outside the building, because that gave me great insight, and also it gave me the ability to build trust. One of the things that happened to me at D'Addario, and this was mind-altering for me, back in 2009, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, right? And so I had to go through the chemo and all that stuff. And, I'm happy to report all good. But the thing that I did was, and I had to make this decision, do I inform the people or not inform the people? Because at that same time, Steve Jobs was going through his illnesses, and he had, in the beginning anyway, had taken that approach of being very private about his illness. I made the decision that I wanted to go out and just let people know, because look, I was going to lose all my hair and people are going to know I'm not trying to make a fashion statement. So I went around and I got our HR manager at the time, Ray Irizarry, and I spoke to everybody in the company in small groups. And I said, look, this is what's happening. I said, the prognosis for the type of cancer that I have is good, but I'm going to be going through this, and I just wanted to let everybody know, right? And what happened, it just blew me away. The next morning, I went in, and on my door were all kinds of cards. There were rosary beads. There were all different kinds of prayers and everything. And from that point going forward, when I walked out on the floor, I was not treated as the boss. I was part of the family, right? And that really changed me in a lot of ways, right? And so it was, I guess, sharing, being vulnerable,
Mhm.
and then seeing the reaction from the people that really just took me in as part of their family.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing, and that's also a great lesson for current and future leaders.
Yeah. It's, you got to build those relationships, and being the servant leader, which before that time, honestly, was I not so much.
Mhm.
Did I do things incorrectly along the way? Yes. Did I lose my temper from time to time? Yes. But as I look back on it, would I handle things differently, knowing what I know now, and from that point going forward? Yes. But I can't be locked into the past, right? As the old philosopher Seneca would say, right? I'm paraphrasing here: is don't trip on anything behind you. Just
Yeah, that's a great point. Yes.
keep
Learn,
going.
learn your lessons and move on.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
amazing. Well, role models. Have you had any role models, any mentors who help you shape your career journey over the years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate that I have a lot of role models and a lot of mentors, and I make it a point to write about them every year and what I learned from them. So one, of course, was my father. And what I learned from him is take the chance. Then Remo Belli, and of course the drum teacher at Shaughnessy, right? And Remo Belli recognized in me my ambition and my curiosity, and I learned from him, if somebody's interested, feed that, really encourage it, and he did. And then going forward with a guy that was the founder of Midco International, Lowell Samuel. Lowell never feared asking anybody anything at any given time. And that always amazed me, how he had the courage to ask whatever it was he asked. I'm not saying that he was always aware of the audience, but he asked it anyway. But I was always amazed at how much he learned because he asked. And then from Vic Firth, again, constant improvement, continual improvement, and the same with Jim D'Addario and how to grow. So I learned all along the way. I took lessons from everybody, and I continue to do that from the people that I teach or that I coach, students that I teach from time to time. I'm asked to be a guest speaker at different colleges, and so I'm constantly learning from them. But I'm also, one of the joys of what I do, what I get to do in coaching, is I like to cross pollinate. I take something from over here that I learned over here, and then I'll say, well, I think this will apply to this organization or this person or whatever. And the biggest joy I get in what I do is when I connect on such a level that the light bulbs go off in their heads, and that you get that aha, and finally they're making the connection, and it can be a game changer for them. That's what I really enjoy.
We have a little tradition in the American Business Podcast. And if you are to leave a question with me for me to ask to our next guest, what would it be? What would you like me to ask to our next guest?
What I want you to ask the next guest?
Yes.
When is Rick going to be on again? No. Let me think about that for a second. I think the next guest, what is or what has been their biggest challenge, and how did they work through that challenge?
Okay, perfect. We'll make sure to ask that in the next episode in the American Business Podcast. In this part of the episode, is there any question that you would like to ask me?
Any question I'd like to ask you? You know what? Yeah, I mean, I would like to hear your journey, because I don't know your journey. I know you're not from Boston. I know you're not from New York. So let me hear a little bit about your journey.
I am from Boston. I'm kidding. I've seen you before.
Yeah, maybe you're from Southie. Maybe Southie. You got a little bit of a Southie accent.
I like that. Well, I mean, just briefly, of course. So a little bit of me in terms of my origin story. So, well, for me, for me to come to US, it was when I came to US when I was 22 to get my master's. So education was my drive to be in US, and then since I came, then I had the opportunity to and privilege, of course, to stay and got my master's in marketing in New York, and I had a chance to also work in different companies. I had a chance to start my own company, which is a privilege to me. And my background is professionally is pretty diverse. So I was in manufacturing industry, I was in import and export industry, I was in pulp, paper and packaging, textile, construction materials. So it's actually quite a mix. Mostly my position was mostly marketing management, business development. I had the opportunity to be in sales management as well during this journey. So all these different industries that I was in also gave me a lot of insights, and I had a chance to learn as well from different professionals in those different industries. And I believe all these different industries and different experiences that I had also helped me start the American Business Podcast. So that was really helpful. I mean, in the last 10 years, I've been in business software industry, which is completely different from what I was in before in terms of industry, which is the beauty of it. I mean, the fundamentals are there. You are just in a different industry. So you learn about that different industry, you adapt to it, and you keep learning. But among all these, the technology has been the most fascinating industry that I've been in. The speed of learning, the speed of change, and you gotta catch up is I never seen in other industry before. I mean, I was also always learning other industries as well: manufacturing, import, export, textile, wholesale, construction materials. They also evolve, of course.
Right.
However, the technology evolves faster, and you have to adapt to it very quick. Otherwise, you are just you're behind pretty quickly too. So that's interesting.
You took, and it's what we talk about, right, in AI, right? We're continually, we're taking this, we're stacking it with that, we're stacking
Yes.
with that, stack. And your experience has been that, right? This constant stacking,
Yes,
and continual learning that
Yeah.
brought you to where you are today.
that is true, and it's very interesting. I'll share a little story. So when I was going to college, when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, I was so into coding. I was coding a lot. I took courses, like all these, like I was very into it. I was into coding communities, and so I'm talking about late 1990s in my cohort, let's just say. And then all those things that I learned, and I decided not to took it as a career. I said, hey, you know what I learned is coding and computing and computer and technology. It's gonna be my, it's gonna support me in my career, but I'm not gonna do it as a full-time job. That was my decision. So all these things that I learned in my 17, 18, 19 year old of myself came to me. All that knowledge came to me when I entered business software industry. So I wasn't coding at all, and I'm still not coding, but the logic, the algorithm, the syntax, the core, the fundamentals came to me. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, I learned this before. It just makes sense. I mean, I don't have to know the language right now in terms of how to code, but I understand the underlying logic behind it, the fundamentals. It just clicked. I
Yep.
couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, look at that. So that was just to your point, that accumulation of knowledge. You never know where you're going to use that when
You
you're learning.
In my, when I, like I mentioned, in high school, I was a sketchy student. I mean, I had a couple good years, but I was not interested in the abstract courses that I was taking, or it was abstract to me. Then I got into the business world, and I was learning on the job all these things. Then I make the decision to go to college, and then nothing was abstract. Now I knew where to put it. Okay, I can do this. I can take that and use that tomorrow, or I can do that and take that tomorrow, and so forth. And that made all the difference. And I think in education in general, and I run into this a lot, is that we could do a better job in education by helping the students connect the dots to create those opportunities to connect the dots in real life earlier on. Like, for example, even talking about durable skills, which used to be known as the soft skills, which I've always called the essential skills of communication, things like that. You know, in music, we have the fundamentals, the scales, the music theory, the rudiments, right? Composition, all that stuff that we have to learn. And if we're going to succeed for a long period of time, we need to practice every day. In sports, regardless of the sport, before every season, there's training camp. And what are they working on in training camp are the fundamentals, right? I don't care who you are. You're working on the fundamentals. In business, you come out of business school or you come into the work community. What are the fundamentals? We don't teach them. And they're not taught, like these durable skills in college. They're not taught in high school, and they need to be. And it would help our students connect the dots. It would help them evolve quicker and be able to adapt better, because when you have those, I don't care what happens with AI. AI is going to have its impact. It's out of our control. Well, our job, our role is to have that ability to adapt to whatever is created and learn from it and grow, right? Those types of skills, those fundamentals, just like you were talking about, all those fundamentals are key. And we should focus on those to help our students grow.
What is your career advice for the next generation professionals?
Career advice is, in general, be curious, stay curious, get that ability to adapt, right? Don't get stuck in a very narrow silo. Be open to different opportunities and learning. Because from here to here, or I should say from here to here, is not a straight line. And so there's going to be a lot of zigzagging, or as I said in the movie, serpentine. So you've got to learn how to do that and be comfortable with it. And then I think you have a good chance of creating maybe a few successful careers. Because even when I look at myself, I look at Rick Drum 1.0. Okay, that was being a student of music and becoming a musician. Rick Drum 2.0 was making that adjustment into business. That was a big change. Rick Drum 3.0 is going into coaching. Rick Drum 4.0 is becoming an author and then a developer of intellectual property. So, that's been my path. Did I ever think about that at the beginning? No. But life happens, and you adjust, and hopefully you're able to take advantage of these opportunities if you can see the opportunity and you keep an open mind.
Rick Drum, thank you so much for being with us in the American Business Podcast. And thank you for sharing your professional insights and professional wisdom with us.
Thank you. I much
Thank you.
appreciate it, Kev. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, and I'm welcoming you again to America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, ABCCI, powered by the American Business Podcast. Looking forward to working with you closely.
Me too. Thank you.
Thank you. And to our viewers and to our listeners, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Well, as I always say, there is always something new to learn in the American Business Podcast. And this was one of them, a fascinating episode. And what do you think about AI? Tell us about your thoughts. How do you use it in business? Share it in the chat box and join the conversation. And as we discussed earlier, about 2 months ago, we started America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, ABCCI, powered by the American Business Podcast. Our mission is simple: to support, promote, uplift, and connect American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and the business community. Join us, be a member, and if you'd like to find out how ABCCI is running, go to abcci.us website, go to events section. We have committee meetings listed in the event calendar. Committee meetings are complimentary, no charge. You can sign up and join any of them that you like. At ABCCI, we are inclusive. From solo entrepreneur to Fortune 500 company, there is always something new to learn at ABCCI. We have more than 10 member-led committees: Women in Business, Nonprofit Committee, Business Development Committee, Manufacturing Committee. We have great clubs: Business Book Club, Public Speakers Club, and more. Join us and grow your business in this age of AI. Thank you very much for your support. We'll be right back after a short break. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Melina Picon. I'm a founding member at America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We would like you to join us today. I am also president of PowerBooks LLC. We provide outsourced accounting, bookkeeping, controller services of businesses of all size. We help them transition from struggling in-house messy bookkeeping to high-level financial department. By outsourcing with us, our clients save up to 40% on their accounting costs, which allows them to focus on generating revenue. We guarantee honest, balanced, timely, and efficient financial services. If you would like to talk us on the phone, you can call us at 845-208-4649. And if you would like to email me, my email address is melina@powerbooks-llc.com. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Mitchell, founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Visit us at www.abcci.us and become a member today. I'm also the owner of Emerald City Ventures. I work with Gen X women who find themselves in a pattern of stopping and starting and starting and stopping. And we reunite you with that version of yourself that you've been trying to reach for years. And she's in there. We're going to bring her out. So visit us at www.kimm.co or email me at theowner@emeraldcityventures.net.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christy Brink, and I'm the owner of Lux Escapes by Christy, personal travel planning, and the co-chair of the Women in Business Committee. I'm a passionate traveler and work closely with my clients to plan personal, curated itineraries around the world. I research the best value, work with local experts around the world, and provide convenience and support so you can travel more and plan less. I am relationship driven, so it's important to me to get to know my clients so I can deliver the best travel experience with each trip. If Women in Business resonates with you, please join me as we work to provide education, inspiration, and support for all women that join. I look forward to getting to know you all. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Suzanne Beck. I'm the sales manager at Preferred Events, and I'm a proud member of the Americans Virtual Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to be here. At Preferred Events, we are the preferred choice for your event rentals throughout the New York metropolitan area and beyond. Whether you're planning a corporate event, a charity walk or run, a fundraiser or gala, a festival, school event, or private celebration, we provide the rentals and the support needed to bring your event to life. Our inventory includes tents, chairs, linens, staging, flooring, fencing, structures, tables, and so much more. What truly sets us apart is the commitment to customer service and helping our clients create successful and memorable events. We work with corporations, nonprofits, schools, municipalities, and event professionals, and we love the opportunity to learn more about your upcoming events and what you're looking to do. If you're planning an event and need a reliable rental partner, please reach out. I look forward to connecting with fellow AVCCI members and finding ways we can support one another's success. Thank you for watching, and I hope to meet you soon.
Hi, I'm Stacy Simbrom. I am a member of the AVCCI. I am also one of the leads of the Women in Business Committee and the Health and Wellness Committee. I run a company called Reflection Project. I am a coach. I am an integrative wellness coach. And what that means is I work with individuals who want to optimize their lives, do better with their wellness, do better in their relationships, and feel better about themselves and the world that they live in. I take an integrated approach, which helps you to learn how to leverage your 3 centers of intelligence, which is your brain, your logic, your emotions, and your body, which is your intuition. I bring several different modalities into this work. I've been doing this work for about 15 years now, and I would look forward to working with you and collaborating with you in this space. If this sounds like something that you would like to learn more about, please contact me either by phone or by email. Thank you very much, and I look forward to meeting with you soon. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Adam Dicker, and the first thing I want to say is how excited I am to be part of the America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry community. I'm also going to be a coach in the Biz Dev and Sales and Marketing Committee, and I'm really looking forward to that and meeting all of you there. To all the entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals here, it's a pleasure to connect with you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the former executive vice president at GoDaddy, where I spent years helping businesses grow their online presence and succeed digitally. Today, I work with companies to help them generate more leads, improve website conversions, and use AI and automation to grow smarter and more efficiently. One thing I've seen over the years is companies spend heavily on paid advertising and they don't take advantage or optimize the existing traffic or website that they have. You should be getting most of your traffic and leads and opportunities from your website, about 70 to 80%. In reality, your website should be the best salesperson working 24/7 to convert visitors into customers. That's where I come in. I help optimize your websites, improve organic traffic performance, implement those tricky AI tools with automation, and build systems that reduce dependency on expensive ad platforms like Google and LinkedIn, while increasing your lead generation and customer engagement. My goal is simple: help businesses sustain their growth, increase conversions, and make your marketing work harder. So if you're part of the network and looking for ways to generate more qualified leads, improve your online presence, optimize your website, or leverage AI in your business strategy, I'd love to connect and learn more about what you do. Thank you again for this opportunity to introduce myself, and I look forward to meeting you all shortly.
I'm David Faverio. I'm a founding member of America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry, other known as AVCCI. I am the chair of the Sustainability Committee. We look to educate people and businesses on how to be more sustainable and how to introduce sustainability into their business to be more efficient in their operations. I'm also the president of Pupfish Sustainability Solutions. Pupfish's data destruction methods are AAA NAID certified through iSigma, which certifies our adherence to the high security and ethical standards in the data destruction industry. We operate on a zero landfill policy, which means nothing winds up in the landfill. Everything's 100% repurposed or recycled back into the U.S. manufacturing stream. And Pupfish received our certified B Corporation status in 2021, and we are proud to be a force for the local and global good.
This is Tommy DeMiso, one of the partners of Vanguard Benefits. I'm excited to be a new member of the AVCCI. And, you know, it's an organization really that I can tell already from being connected to it that has reach nationally and across many different verticals in business. So I'm excited to be a part of that. So really quick, what I do, one of the partners, as I say, at Vanguard Benefits, and we're an employee benefits agency. We're laser focused on that employee benefits experience. So that means we work with employer groups as they look to create strategic employee benefit solutions. We look to come in and try to help them stabilize their costs around their benefits. And a lot of what we deal with is when folks are looking to attract or retain talent. So that's where we live. We also work to help businesses and nonprofit organizations find ways to really stay compliant around their employee benefits and offset a lot of the burden of implementing an employee benefits plan. So what I like to say is, I was just with a client yesterday, and I like to say we become the outsourced benefits management team for our clients. So our largest client has about 800 employees, and our smallest client has 2 employees. And really where we make the biggest impact is from about 50 to 300 employees. That's where we find that we're really well situated to work with those types of groups. We work with the leadership team, and then we do one-on-one education as appropriate for our clients. So really, we know how expensive benefits can be, and it often is a very personal conversation as it relates to somebody's family and their budget. So we make sure that we're always available to educate. And then we give that one-on-one service through my operations and client service team throughout the year. So I'm always looking forward to meeting with different employer groups, some different strategic partners. For my entire career, I've worked with different CPAs and accountants and other trusted advisors. So happy to be a member of AVCCI, and I look forward to connecting with everybody. And let's reach out. Let's make a new relationship. Take it easy. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Miller. I am a relatively older author, founder, CEO of my own company, and I am a member of AVCCI. I joined this year. I've been on the podcast, the ABC podcast, ABP podcast, and I really enjoy this particular group. So I'm the author of 2 books, The Rookie CEO, You Can't Make This Stuff Up, and What Every CEO Must Know, 37 Secrets to Lead with Confidence and Power. I founded my own company, which is consulting now. I added publishing to it in 2011. It's Beeline Bill Enterprise. That's on beelinebill.com, and that website is being updated. This week it should be updated. And last year co-founded a company called Zaboom with 3 O's, LLC, Zaboom LLC, where we do voice AI, in mostly outbound calling. We do some inbound. So those are the things that I'm actively involved in. I have 5.5 decades in technology, the last 3.5 decades as an executive leader. I have had a seat at the table. I worked for many rookie CEOs or first time CEOs, another way to say rookie, at various phases of their role. And that's what drove the creation of my first book. Living in the trenches, being a number two executive in a company, and knowing how decisions are made, knowing good decisions, bad decisions, decisions that could have gone either way. Think about your life. Every major decision in your life is a fork in the road. If you go this way, you take that job. If you go that way, you take another job. And that sets you up for whatever is next. And so our life is really built around the decisions we make and how they come out. So I've written about a lot of these experiences. The second book, I have actually firsthand stories from many CEOs in there. Some of them are CEO stories that I tell as the number two man or somebody on the executive team. Because you see, over the years, you see patterns of things that CEOs tend to do, especially first timers. First timers go in, they have a business function that they came from typically, unless they're a super young founder when they're very early, and they, especially these days with AI, there's a lot of founders that have never been in a corporate company, corporate America, where they've learned all of the things that you go through to work your way up the chain. So typically, though, the first time CEOs, all the ones I've worked with, they come from a business function. It could be engineering, could be sales, could be marketing, could be finance, and they have expertise that got them to where they were to be positioned for the CEO role. In one way or another, they either got promoted or they got hired into that role. When you get in there, you don't know what motivates all the other teams unless you have worked with somebody who's a coach or an advisor, board of directors, whoever it is that becomes your right hand right out of the chute. You really don't know what you don't know. And so my second book, and a lot of my speaking now and my writing, is about blind spots. And so I'll be releasing kind of a new offer very shortly that'll be on the new website, which is you'll be able to do a free CEO assessment to identify the top blind spots, the top things that you need help with. You get a free assessment. You can get an assessment brief report from me. All of that is for free. And then if you want to go into an intensive, what I call a blind spot intensive, then you can work with me for a modest fee. But there's a lot of experience there. I help people work around challenges that they just can't see around the corner. And a lot of times, again, like I said, you don't know all the different business functions. You know the one you come from the best. You might have opinions that you're a good marketer or a good salesperson, and maybe you are because you've learned from good people that have worked with you over the years. But to put it all together and be that person at the top, and your boss is the board of directors, or outside people, outside investors or shareholders, it gets to be a little bit more difficult when it's your decision. And who do you go to? Who do you talk to? What kind of advice are you going to get? Is it going to be filtered or unfiltered? Who do you trust? Who can you trust? All of those things, I try to help you build muscle to handle all of those specific situations. And again, my books are to help first-time CEOs, founders, and stuck CEOs kind of move forward, see what other people have done, see how it's worked out. Think about my second book, The 37 Secrets to Lead with Confidence and Power, what every CEO must know there. It's real stories. They're the biggest mistakes CEOs have made, how they could have avoided it, how they recovered from it, and how they moved forward. And you'll see in that book, if you read it, and I do recommend it, it's a great read, with 37 secrets to help you. The thing is that other people made these mistakes. You can see how they got there and the decision they made, why they made it, and what the results of that were in their particular company. And more than half of the CEOs that I write about in that book, these are their stories directly from them that they gave to me with rights to print it, use their name, the company that they were at. Several other CEOs gave me the rights to their story, but would not identify themselves by name and company because they're still there. And so they're surviving. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has blind spots. You should shorten your cycle to better leadership, making better decisions, especially under pressure, and especially when you don't know what you don't know. So those are the things that kind of make me tick these days. Again, think about what I do. I have Beeline Bill Enterprises, which is my kind of like I call it a consulting firm. It used to be Beeline Bill Consulting, and then I changed it. But I have my publishing firm there, my consulting firm, and everything else that I do personally. I have my two books. I'm a co-founder of Zaboom, again with three O's, Zaboom LLC, which is a voice AI startup, about 7 or 8 months old now. And we have our first customers working on product market fit. We have some pretty satisfied return customers. It's a month-to-month SaaS type situation with voice AI. So my partner and I, as my life partner and business partner, we stay focused on using AI in business and all of the different types of methodologies. I have a blog on TMCnet, ceoinsights.tmcnet.com, which is the company called TMC, which is Technology Marketing Corporation. The CEO is Rich Durrani, president is Dave Rodriguez. I've been involved with them for years. I moderate a CEO Insights panel at IT Expo for the last 6 years in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and build a panel of 3 to 4 CEOs, and we just have a topic, whatever that topic is in the track we're on. So I do that. All of the recordings of those panels are on my YouTube channel, which if you do searches for Beeline Bill, which is my brand, BeeLineBill, same as my website. If you do searches for Beeline Bill, you'll find pretty much all of my a lot of my things. There's videos for also the CEO success stories that's sponsored by the Cloud Voice Alliance. I'm sort of a content advisor there, and I interview CEOs in the telecom space and related because I've been involved in that market for many years. And voice AI is kind of part of that because voice is coming back as a big thing these days. There's nothing like a good old telephone call, and now voice AI is considered an automated call by the FCC and TCPA, Telecommunications Consumer Protection Act. And when you think about all of the things that I do in a semi-retired mode, I'm kind of busier now than I was when I was working full time, which I left technology in 2020. That's when I wrote my first book in 2020. The second book was published the end of 25. I stay active. It's one of the reasons that I joined the AVCCI and their book club. We featured me in the first inaugural of that particular podcast, and my book is listed on the AVCCI book club website. So kind of that's me in a nutshell. I live in Maplewood, Minnesota, which is part of St. Paul. I come from the Boston area, so I'm a hardcore Boston and New England sports fan. I was born and bred in that area, went to school in Needham, Mass, and then Northeastern. I've lived in many states besides Massachusetts, California, Southern California, Northern California. I've lived in Huntsville, Alabama when I worked for Digium. I've lived in Minnesota now twice. This is my second time, and we're here because of a grandbaby that's a half an hour away. And so I stay pretty active online, and this is a great group to be part of.
Hey everyone, my name is Brent Gary, and I'm proud to be a founder member of the AVCCI, America's Virtual Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I'm inviting you to join our new movement at avcci.us. In addition, I'm a fractional CMO at Gary Consulting, where I work with business owners who are past the startup stage and fully into scaling, but they need your marketing to go from guesswork to growing. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for being with me in the American Business Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast, please send us an email, guestbooking@americanpodcast.tv. If you'd like to sponsor ABP, if you'd like to advertise in our podcast episodes, please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can advertise your company, your products, your services, and your brands in the American Business Podcast. Please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can also visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, to learn more about the American Business Podcast as well as our coming streaming schedule. Now you can have your branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast network. We call it Business Podcasting as a Service, PaaS. If you're interested in starting your business podcast in the American Business Podcast Network, please send us an email, paas@americanpodcast.tv. As part of our international expansion, we started international podcast editions. When you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our YouTube page. And please go to the podcast section in our YouTube page, and you'll see our international podcast editions. They are ABP Espanol, ABP German, ABP French, ABP Hindi, ABP Portuguese, and ABP Turk, that you can listen to American Business Podcast in 6 different foreign languages. Okay, well, we are in the process of increasing our presence in social media. If you're on LinkedIn, please scan this QR code and subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn. If you're on TikTok, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our TikTok page. Please subscribe. Please follow us. If you are on Instagram, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Instagram page, and please subscribe. If you are on Facebook, we'll also appreciate your help and support. Please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Facebook page, and please follow us. And finally, we are on IMDb, next to other reputable media productions. Please scan this QR code, go to our IMDb page, and please rate us on IMDb. We'll truly appreciate your help and support. I'd like to thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. I'm looking forward to seeing you in coming the American Business Podcast episodes. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast, America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. Thank you very much for your help, and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.